Hello, this is Joe Roman of GEI Consultants and Co-Chair of the LSPA Regulations Committee, providing this 3-minute update on the Mass DEP Advisory Committee meeting from February 28th. Paul Locke began with some general program updates, primarily focused on PFAS. DEP is still getting a trickle of new PFAS sites. There's not a huge number of sites at this time, and they are mostly associated with public water supplies. DEP is moving forward with the maximum contaminant level, or MCL process, for PFAS in drinking water. Paul estimates that the MCL process will likely take about a year, but DEP does expect to issue Method 1 standards and reportable concentrations for PFAS before issuing the MCL. If the MCL process suggests that changes to the Method 1 standards or RCs are necessary, DEP will make those changes. Karen Pelto provided an update on the natural resource damages process, the NRD process. DEP has issued a response to stakeholder comments on the NRD process, and those are posted on the NRD website. Karen expects that a public hearing draft and supporting materials will be issued after the MCP revisions. DEP is mindful of not putting too many public drafts out at one time. Liz Callahan provided an update on the MCP changes. The changes are now with the Office of Administration and Finance. This is the last step before publishing the draft in the Mass Register. DEP is anticipating about a 2.5 to 3 month public comment period and also holding about 3 to 4 public hearings. After receiving comments, DEP will take a few months to incorporate the comments into the draft. With these timeframes in mind, DEP is expecting to issue the final MCP changes in the fall of 2019. Some highlights from the meeting on the MCP changes. DEP will be issuing a red line strikeout version of the entire MCP. This will help with cross-referencing in the QA process. DEP is encouraging detailed written comments on the changes. They're also looking for suggested wording and also any feedback on how these changes might impact real sites. The LSPA will be hosting a meeting with Mass DEP on March 19th in Westboro, where there will be an expanded discussion of some of the MCP changes, focusing on risk assessment, Method 1 standards, and other issues. There'll also be an opportunity for some Q&A with DEP at this meeting. Ken Mara provided an update on a multi-laboratory data audit initiated by DEP. Based on some issues DEP saw with lab data packages, they issued a request for information to 14 labs, and these 14 labs constitute about 95% of the data that DEP typically sees. Some preliminary findings. There were some issues identified with the EPH and VPH method, not so many issues with the TO15 or APH methods, and the issues were primarily associated with calibration and reporting limits. DEP will issue a final report on the audit with the labs identified and also likely include some recommendations for updates to the CAM. And then finally, there was a presentation on a joint study between DEP and Worcester Polytechnic Institute. It was a screening method of IRA reports for common language. It was essentially a modeling method used to distill reports for some key exposure conditions and phrases. And it was really an artificial intelligence approach for screening reports and helping the DEP with their audit process. Those are all the updates from the DEP Advisory Committee meeting. Thank you for your time.